have 3 pet peeves. Number 1, when it comes to technology, my 3 pet peeves are, all you need is. If you go into a store and you say, I'm having problems with this, the clerk will say, all you need is. You get home and you're going to need 50 more pieces of equipment to go with it, so you have to go back to the store. Okay? To me, that's a big misnomer. Number 2, I run. I do not walk. I run away from the person who says, it's so easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. No, when it comes to technology, that's not true. It's just not true. And thirdly, this might be a shocker, but when you hear people say, it's where the youth are. I will be honest with you, I've done surveys within my classes. I have talked with the youth. I just completed a course through Adolescent Spirituality through Limex, Loyola, and they will tell you, and I'm going to that point right now. They will tell you, at least I know with my own personal surveys, that youth do not want technology. It's now becoming a textbook. It's like the plague. You threaten your catechetical class with a textbook, and they're going to be the best little minions you know. They don't want textbook. What they want, and I will show you, is, if I can get it up here, and, pardon my back, according to the National Survey on Youth, they want parents. They love their parents, more so than a lot of other previous generations. They love community. They want to be active in their community. They want to know they've made a difference, and they are making a difference. They want role models. They want people who are living, walking, breathing what they're telling them. Don't sit there and give them a litany of things to do and then go out the door and do just the opposite. They want actual role models. But if you notice in this infographic, there's one paradigm that we have to have, and this is technology. Okay? Technology is the way we are going to communicate to them and the way we are going to reach their parents. In this course, I learned something that really threw me a little bit, and that is faith is an option, technology is not. As long as we keep that in mind. They need the technology. They have to use it for school. It's very useful in ministry. It's where you're going to find their parents, because let's face it, parents are sitting in the stadiums, which is one of the reasons my program was developed, with their text phone. And they're communicating about where little Susie is, where's little Petey, where's this. Oh, there's a message. I forgot. We've got faith formation tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That's where you're going to get the parents, is on their iPhones. And this, by the way, it's not a plug for me personally, but if you doubt this, here's 2 awesome resources that I would highly recommend you reading if you want to get to the core of where the adolescents are. Engaging a New Generation and Almost Christian. Almost Christian is a very profound book. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we don't start using it as a classic, or considering it a classic. It's by Kendra Creasy Dean. These are just 2 of the many different readings I had to do for class. The other one is by Frank Mercadante, Engaging a New Generation. Okay. And he is phenomenal. Now, this is what happened. I had a colleague who would constantly say, we can't do that. Kids have a baseball tournament. We can't do this. Kids have a hockey travel team going out. Or she was constantly using sports as an excuse to not do something. And it was really starting to annoy me because if you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere. And I was looking at my attendance register, and yes, she's right. Sports was all the rage. Hockey in Oswego, it's like air, okay? You cannot go anywhere without facing some type of hockey. So what I did to meet that need is I went online, and I've never shown this before. I'm going to show it to you now. I created a link from our church website, okay? And it's important because, you know, I've always missed this part, but I want to show it to you. Off of the website, you can go there. You can go to our Faith Formation program. I think it's going to be vamping, please. Okay. Over here, you have a link right back to the parish. You have our catechetical schedule year. You have guidelines and requirements for confirmation. You have First Communion requirements and information about the sacraments themselves. You have First Reconciliation. You have Family Tools. We have our CIA and a request area. So anything that a parent may need or want with regards to official classroom or faith formation material will be found here. Okay? Just to show you quickly. I have even put a registration button on so they can register right there. Get out of this. Maybe back. And then my own personal baby, the St. Sebastian Club. Does anybody know who St. Sebastian was? Or is? Yes.
Patron saint of athletes. He was a martyr.
Very good.
A warrior.
Yep. Actually, I'll skip that link and I'll just go right there. Now, as we get started, I want you to understand this is done through the Weebly format, okay? With Weebly, and this is a bell ringer, it's free. Okay? It will not cost you anything. Come on. Are you unplugged in?
It's coming in now.
Weebly is free. Weebly can be easily operated and used, and I'm not using the word easily to run. I'm saying that if I figured it out in 3 days with minimal effort, there are people around you, specifically within your faith formation office and the IT department, who are more than willing to help you set up your own website. Now, the reason this was created was because we have the travel teams. They like to go up to Lake Placid. I had a mom, 4 kids. Actually, they were stepladders. I had 2 or 3 other mothers who had kids that were going through sacraments. I had another family. I also had a child who had an epilepsy-type sleeping disorder. I still don't know what they ended up diagnosing her with. But she was always going to Rochester. Then, so she was out of classes a lot, and it wasn't me. Oh, and I had a mom and dad who separated, and mom was in Canada. So the kid was missing, like, because of the, what is it?
Visitation.
Thank you. I was going to say verifications. I don't know. Because of visitations, so they were missing. This website, I want you to understand, is supplemental only. Just like a vitamin, it's only supplemental. It is not made to replace faith formation community that they get in their youth gatherings. Okay? They need that one-on-one, like the diagram I showed you earlier. They want the people. They don't really care about the technology. Yes, that's how we have to reach them. They'd rather have a face-to-face. So, what I did was, I went to Weebly, got this set up under, actually it was a 3-day workshop under John Roberto, so if your parish or perhaps Andrea Schaefer. They may have information on any upcoming John Roberto workshops. Take it. It's the best investment you will make. On my Weebly site, for my families, I have a Vertus symbol. If you have any type of technology in your faith formation program, I highly encourage you to put the Vertus symbol on it, as long as you're up to date and you're fine with that. The reason being, our parish was audited, and when we got audited, they loved the fact that the symbol was there. Okay? And I don't know, I know I was warned a little bit ahead of time, but then, let's see here. Scroll. When it comes to this stuff, cut and paste. Everybody here can handle cut and paste. This I wrote that over there. And it's just basically an opening landing page or a home page. Initially, my first page, I had the SB winner on there, and I don't know his name. Rest his soul. He has passed on. He had cancer, and he was an announcer for sports, I believe. You're young man. Who? Oh, okay. He received it, and it was awesome. I've also had the father and son team.
Stuart Scott?
Yes, yes. I had his interview on there. Because I want to pull in the mom and the dad. That's what we want to do. We want to entice them. Then also on this webpage, whoop, up here, you have lovely tabs that you can press. I have a family fun page. Woo. And all this is composed of is I have videos that they can watch in the van when they're traveling to the hotel. Their prayer video, especially if they're sacraments and they have to learn the Our Father. I have a racing game from Caleb. NASCAR is another thing we're big in Oswego. I love the racing. And I also have a few craft items from Pinterest. You can't go wrong with Pinterest. You can find, literally, you can find anything on Pinterest. I would like to mention, all of you, John Roberto taught me two things. Well, he taught me a lot. Two major commandments, so to speak, to live by. Number one, always try to make it 2 clicks or less. Keep it to the 2-click standard. Anything more than 2 clicks, you're going to lose them. And the second thing, I talked about getting to a place for 2 clicks. If you're going to put something like this on there, don't give them a catalog of ideas. Keep it to 5 items. 5 ideas. And while we're there, the 3rd commandment, I'm going to have to tell, write John and let him know I'm writing commandments based on what he said. He's an awesome guy. The 3rd commandment is, and now it's escaped me. We'll get there. Also, I included a link for resources or for information, our faith formation, RC Faith Quest. You can go there. Maybe you have a link that you know of that you would prefer the parents to go to. A Vibrant Faith. Okay? You can put their button on there. And I have them on here somewhere. Let's see here. La 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 la. Now we're going to the Sebastian Playbook. And this is basically, I took this from the football format. Number one, we don't call it homework. I don't like it when parents come in and say, do you have Johnny's homework? He missed last week. It's not homework. It's faith work. That's what it's about. So this is what I have done for the family, the parents. That's the biggest thing for the parents. And it will direct them to two other, in this tab, it will direct you to two other playbooks. K through 6, which is pretty simple for me to direct the parents to. I've given them specific assignments according to their grade. So if you know, or I know, little Kimmy's going to be out the next 2 or 3 weeks, that's where they can go for grades 1 through 3. They have a choice.
You change those out periodically?
That was the third commandment. Thank you. 3 months. 3 months. Always be 3 months ahead of time.
So if a kid's going to be, I mean, is this like, do you have a religious ed every week?
Yes, we do.
So is this like week 1, 2, and 3?
This is grades 1, 2, and...
No, but I mean weeks.
No,
kids can't
every
be there.
3 months, because it follows our liturgical calendar. All right? If you do it every 3 weeks, you may just, well, you could do it at the pace. If you have the time and you want to do it every 3 weeks, go for it. Rule of thumb is try to fit it to your schedule, but don't go any longer than 3 months. All right? If you have a kid who's going to turn in all 3 of these, then by all means, go ahead and change them out. Change them out as frequently as you want.
So these won't necessarily correspond with what is going on in any particular week?
They can.
They can, but not necessarily.
Right.
I mean, if I'm going to miss the second week of next month, I as a parent or my child can pick any one of these 3, which may not correspond with that class that week.
Correct. And that's okay. For 2 reasons. And I'm going to pass this out afterwards. One of the things that they're going to get, well, at least they get with my program, is a travel bag. And they get the week, because of our program, which is through FLOM, we have the weekly reader set up. So they get that, and the parents take that home and go over it with them. Does that often happen? Not usually, let's be honest. But these I don't necessarily always follow the FLOM model. And sometimes, like putting a pill in a pepperoni, you can educate the parents much easier through this than you will through a FLOM Gospel Weekly. Down here, and again, it's all based on age appropriateness. You know what your kids can handle and what they can't handle. Grades 4 through 6, all they have to do is pick a video and tell me about it. Sounds like, wow, really? That's a whole lot of faith work, or that's not a whole lot of work. I have a solution for you in the next group. And these videos, you can use, you can paste them. It's a very easy transition. Weebly does everything but pick it for you. I will show you the high school playbook. This is where it comes into play. This is for grades 7 through 12. Okay? What I have asked them to do is to read the various words over here, get an idea, a concept of what they mean. Select a video from the left-hand side. Heads Up Out of the Box is becoming a major wave right now on the national level. Awesome, awesome videos. You want to watch?
Don't be a robot.
You want Don't Be a Robot or the Creed, or do you want the Game of Life?
I want the Creed, but I'm a church lady, so everybody else might want something else.
Oh my gosh, it's Team A. When did you sneak in?
Just here.
What did you say this was? Out of the box?
Out of the Box.
Out of the box.
D-A-B-O-X. I don't know the volume, so you're on TED Talks for teens this month. It's not a long video, short enough. It may not necessarily be the way my generation was taught, or the generations before me. However, and I've noticed this with colleagues, we have one of our favorite websites, Busted Halo. When that first came out, it was daunting to many of us because there was so much stuff on there. But this is aimed, well, the robot is aimed at that generation and how they learn. So they just saw that. Now, did anybody get a chance by any to review what these words were? Scripture, liturgy, sacrament, social justice. So what you would do is you would ask the kid, where would that video fit in? And they could pick scripture maybe, because we saw a lot of it there, right? Could also say liturgy. Don't just say it. Don't, you know. Right. Could be sacrament, but it gets their mind thinking. This is my little kernel of wisdom. They're going to spend more time and more attention doing this than they are in the classroom. Because they view the video, they're reviewing the definition, and then they have to write a what, 250 I believe it is? Write a 250-word essay answering 3 questions. That's going to take them anywhere, let's see, from 45 minutes to an hour, okay? And they may even go off searching and read one more or see something else. When you get them in class, how long do you think you're going to have their attention? Exactly. It's not going to be retained. This way, they're picking what they want, they're learning how they want it, and applying it in a way that they will understand. Now, I have had a teenager do this for me. That one. In fact, I would have to say, she probably gleaned more within the first 2 or 3 months than the other kids did. Because by the time they get all settled, and they get done talking about gossip. So that's for the 7th and 12th graders. I have also included a verification form. It's amazing how many sports a kid can do, but not really be there for. So what I ask, and this has, it has dual purpose, verification code, or a verification form allows me to contact the coach. Okay? It says, this is the information I need, and I am more than willing, subliminally, to work with you. Okay? If you could tell me when your tournament dates are going to be, I won't schedule a class, or I'll try to work around your class. It also tells the parents and the youth, you know what, if you say you're going to be in baseball, you're going to be in baseball. If you're not, then you need to not sign up for the program or come and talk with us, and maybe we can help you in some other format. I'm not going to lie to you. There are parents out there that will tell you so-and-so is in a sport and they won't actually be in it. And that we're not helping them if they just come in, register, and move along to the next part. Also, when you have the coach's contact number for future games, he can also contact you. Maybe there's an issue with the family that, maybe the mom and dad are going through a tough time and they could kind of use some clothing. Or the kid is acting out, so maybe you could, could you help us with this? So we can always share. We build a relationship that way. And not be enemies. Contact us. Now, one of the new things I added to this is the page where you submit your name, your email, and your homework, if you want. Or you can come in and turn it in when you come into class. Miscellaneous questions or comments. I heard about this not too long ago, and I think I'm going to do it. My pastor doesn't know it yet, but sometimes parents just want to ask somebody a question about their faith. They want to know that it's not threatening. They want to know that you're not going to hound them for a membership. You're not going to ask them if they want pew envelopes already. You're not going to force them to convert, or judge, or gossip them. They just want to come and ask you a question. Maybe they're a little embarrassed to approach you on your doorstep. So they have an opportunity to do it with email if they want. Just to open that communication for them. I did have a mom who was having issues with her husband last fall. They've since divorced. And she needed somebody to share with. So while her daughter was in class, she'd come in and just vent on me. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counselor. But knowing that God loves her and is caring for her helped bestow hope on her. If it is a serious issue, as always, go to your pastor. Take it to your pastor. Let's see here. Because oftentimes you are the face of Christ for many of these families the only time during the week. Now that's the Sebastian Club. With that, I had to prepare this for Buffalo in May. Now the page that you will see on the back is not necessarily the page that you will find on the website. But it's just a little diagram for you to take home if you feel comfortable enough trying it on your own, which I highly advise. Teresa, would you please want to pass it along? Yeah, go ahead. Also on the back of that form, you will find a travel kit that we give to our families who are on our St. Sebastian Club. In the travel kit, you will get travel games, which you can purchase through publishers. You'll get a passport. Now, the passport isn't to take to Lake Placid and have some hotel stamp on. The passport you can record a faith memory in. Maybe, we lit a candle in the room and Susie tipped the candle and spilt the wax. Or maybe this was the first time I realized God does this. You can also have, in the travel kit, I provide candies and snacks. Hey, it's a long road, you need it. Bibles, in the Catholic Faith and Family Bible, which will be at the CMD, I believe, this Thursday, if you have an opportunity to attend. love that for families because at the end or interspersed throughout each book, there are questions for the families to discuss in a contemporary format. Travel gives, which I already said. Prayer space and environment. I used to work in a hotel and cleaning up after those hockey families. They had kids. I totally advise, if you want to, include a little crucifix. Include a rosary. Make a little corner of the hotel room because they're there all weekend long. Maybe one of them got hurt, God forbid. Or maybe you're worried your son's going to get a puck to the head. So you all kneel around the table and you say a prayer for sportsmanship, for safety, and for wisdom. And you'd be surprised, these families will catch on. They like sharing their faith. They're sharing their faith if they know that it's in a comfortable environment, basically. And yes, I let them keep everything but the Bibles, because some of the Bibles that I do give out, I do let them keep, but the other ones are pretty expensive and not always cost effective. Again, the front page just talks about everything we did. I would like to recommend, however, that you improve the program. By that, I mean get a couple of quote-unquote guinea pig parents, somebody that's willing to run the program, play with it, see if they can work with it. Once you've had it proofed and you've had the English edited, whatever, however you want to look at it, once you've had it proofed, slowly unveil it. Don't go out there and make a big public deal about it because you'll be swamped. And this is the first time you're getting it up and running, so do it slow. You get a group of people at once. It could take you anywhere, especially if you're not technologically savvy, and that's me. And lastly, not a John Roberto commandment, however, close enough. It's off of his website. Would you take one, please? Pass it around. The 24 CCs for evaluating religion websites. Now, I include this because if you make a weekly, these are good gold marks to go by. Also, if you are consulting online, you would like ideas of what to consider when validating an online site. Okay? For example, credibility. Who is the author? Is there information about the author? Now, we all know everything online is true, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised, let me tell you. Credentials, make sure the author has credentials and that they're valid credentials. Contact and communication. Clues, where is the website located? Like gov, edu, does it have a church organization publish these pages, or does an individual? Copyright, which is going to be discussed later on, that is a major issue to be concerned with. Comprehension, don't give a teen something that a quote-unquote infant would do. I'm not saying that adults, like in RCIA, can't take a puppet video and go deeper with it, but a teen might feel insulted that you would give them a juvenile video. Conversely, you wouldn't want to give something like the robot to a 4-year-old. It's just not going to work. Continuity, connectivity, clarity, context, cruise control, completeness, correctness, Child Online Privacy Protection Act, quality control, compassion, care, caution, and comparability. What I want to say about that Child Online Privacy Act, remember, if it's Virtus, put your Virtus on here on your weekly website, and if you're going to ask them to see a video, please download it in a format like this. One year, one of my colleagues was getting ready to ask the class to please review a certain video, and it was about eating clay in one of the poorer countries. That's what they did for a diet. Pica disease, it depends on where you're from. And right next to it was a very inappropriate ad. Had the mother gone there or had the youth gone there, that really would have been an issue. So if you're going to use a video, please be sure you download it into a format where you can control what is around the outside of it. All right? Any questions? I hope you have a lot of ideas. Any ideas? Do you feel comfortable? You don't feel comfortable. Be honest. Anybody? Yes.
I was going to say, we have a Weebly website that clicks, so you can get it either from St. Francis, SFA Binghamton Faith Formation.weebly.com, or you can go right onto the parish website and click Faith Formation. And our confirmation meets once a month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the community building part, and then they have monthly assignments that are due, as well as blogs and other things, and it has been very successful as far as
Awesome.
getting the stuff out so that when we meet once a month, it's more about dialogue and talking about things. So it's really much more community and service building, and information is all online that has been. And, you know, 2 years in a row, it's worked.
And I'm guessing, only guessing, my thought is because you're pulling the kids together and you're giving them that communal environmental setting that they are asking for. This stuff they can do at home.
Exactly. And so on our website, there's a parent page with different prayer websites and schedules, and on the confirmation website, every piece of paper that they need is on there. And then this year, we're going to put First Communion on it, the other side of the side.
And that's awesome, because I want to give you a tip on that. And with regards to the official link, I use only USCCB books or resources or referrals. That's all I use, because somebody is going to come up to you and say,
Oh, yeah.
you know, what you put up there is wrong. And you're going to be at a loss for words, because you're going to have 10 people running behind you and in front of you, little ones. You're going to have another, bless you, another parent waiting, and you're not going to be able to stand there and do apologetics for an hour. So if you just say, you know what, I got that off the USCCB, you know, United States Catholic
Council.
Right. I got it from them, but here, you know what? Let me go look it up, and then I'll get back to you. Chances are you won't see them again, because you know where you got your resource from, and it's a credible organization. And of course, as we all know, when it comes to catechesis, we should not be using curriculums that are not approved. So, and that's what our schedule looks like. When the month is done, I highlight with a check mark through it, so that when the parents come in, boom, it's right there. It's not a boring
Yeah.
lineup.
The other thing I have on it is Circles of Care and the diocesan guidelines. So they can see that
Wonderful.
I'm not making this stuff up.
Oh, I know. How many times have we told people, we're not making this up, it's a requirement. It's a diocesan requirement. I have a photo site on here. And there's my confirmation. Father John was washing feet. But as you can see, I have videos on there. I have the dress code, because we have a specific dress code. Any information you're going to need, serious content, you will find on that website. Okay? Maria, it sounds like you're an awesome.
And I also have an awesome confirmation catechist who does a lot of stuff.
I didn't have to get up at 5. You're right here.
No, yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
But it's been very helpful with the parents, because they ask you for something, you know, and I have a file box to bring over to the school, because that's a whole other story. But so I have a file box. Do you think you can find that piece of paper when you need it? No.
And you know, that's what I like when parents come in. I need that schedule. Do you have that copy? I need that schedule. I need a copy now. I need it
It's
now.
on the website.
You can go, like you said, everywhere in your office, upside down, and it won't be anywhere. You tell them it's on the website, and they say, no, it's not. It is here. Go to our parish site, click on faith formation, and boom, it'll take you right to the schedule tab. No questions asked.
Yeah.
It's right there in a snap. Any questions?
And most of the parents do like that. They have it on their phone, they have the website on their phone so they can check it out.
Quickly, one thing I also recommend, and it's if you have time, I send out my parents every Friday a weekend notice. We're having classes or we're not having classes. Father has asked for the families to be for this, or can somebody do that? Sending out email every Friday to them, believe it or not, it becomes an addiction because they start to count on you. There's a terrible phrase out there, it's called spoon feeding. I don't like that, but basically that's what we have to do sometimes because that's how society and culture has groomed these parents. So we have to get into their world, and by emailing them every Friday, and when you don't email them, Mrs. Hall, is there class this weekend? I didn't hear from you. That rocks. That makes you feel good.
Do you use email, or do you use Remind?
I use email. When they register, they have to put in their email, and I download everything.
Yeah,
I store it all in Google Docs.
yeah, but you don't use Remind for that.
Nope. Because I make it personal. Like maybe there was somebody, one of our catechists took sick. So I asked them for prayers. Maybe one of the families has to move. Would you please pray for so-and-so this week? Second graders need to bring in paper plates. You know, simple things, but everything.
You said that you use Google Docs for the email?
Yes. Well, I use Google for everything. I
Okay.
use Google Docs for registration.
Right. Got it.
Yep. Any other questions? Does anybody feel at least a little comfortable trying it?
At the risk of breaking one of your commandments, if I could do it, you could do it.
That's not a commandment. That's just one of my annoying pet peeves.
Yeah, I know, but seriously, we believe is, and it's free, but you can upgrade it. I think it's $150 for a 3-year subscription, and then you can add more stuff to it.
It looks daunting. It looks very challenging. And I will be honest with you, you may think that you're going to blow it up if you touch the wrong key. You can't. You can't. What you can do is lose everything you've done if you fail to hit the publish button. And that has happened to people.
Yeah, that's
I would love at some point in my future, hopefully, to be able to help people, which I do on a one-to-one in the north. Excuse me. Which I do in the north. I meet with you one-on-one. But when you're in a group setting, it's not always easy. Somebody has a tablet, somebody has a laptop, somebody has this, somebody has that. I can't get here, I can't get there. It's not always that easy. So please, don't hesitate to contact either IT or the Faith Formation office. Schaefer's a whiz. Paul is getting there. She's going to be attending a Roberto conference. Not Paula, Phyllis. I was going to take you to Weebly just so you could see what it looks like, but you can see it on your own. Because I think we're out of time. All right? You're welcome. And if you
Oh, you
want,
said we'll have it on the
thank
phone?
you very much.
Thank
You're welcome. Thank
you.
you. If you want, feel free to contact me personally in my email. It's real simple. bhall@syr.org.